Buy Black for Life. Buy Black for Life. Family, one and all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are watching from. Welcome to another of our Buy Black for Life um, conversations. I want to welcome all of you who are watching, whether you're watching live or you are watching on replay. Welcome to Buy Black for Life. I'm over the moon excited about this conversation. Cuz, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I am over the moon excited about this conversation. Um, and there's a reason for that. This is an amazing woman, um, an amazing queen, and she's my cousin, and I am so blessed to have her on this platform. And I just want her to just tell us a little bit about who she is. So, welcome to the family, um, LaKeisha Harraway. LaKeisha, please welcome and tell the Buy Black for Life people who you are, please.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Jerome. Thank you, family. I really appreciate it. First and foremost, can you hear and see me okay?
Hear and see you just fine,
Aw-
cuz.
Awesome. Well, first back, I want to bring it back to you because thank you for creating this platform, especially in lieu of Women History Month and just highlighting the amazing Black women who were trailblazers in their own right, entrepreneurs, and who are making their contribution to the community. So I really appreciate that as you being a Black man to recognizing us in that form and creating this platform. So thank you so much. I'm really
Welcome.
excited to be here.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yes. But
So,
as you
go ahead.
sorry,
I'm
go ahead.
sorry. Go ahead.
So said family, how you guys doing this evening? My name is LaKeisha Harraway. I'm a Bronx native, BX stand up.
BX. Let's go.
Yes, I am a mother. I have a 4-year-old and just became a new mother actually as well on March
Congrats.
4th. I have a
Congrats.
boy. I am a stay-at-home mother, so taking care of the kids full time. I'm an entrepreneur, so what that means, I have a home-based travel business, booking trips and creating lasting memories for myself and also for my clients. And I do that from the comfort of my own home. And I am also a founder and president of my a nonprofit group. It's called Only Us Community Group, and I guess we can dive more into that. So yeah, I have a few initiatives that I am building, uh, creating a legacy. All of that good stuff. So thank you again. But yeah, this is who I am. I'm Keisha. Love to travel. Love creating. I just love connecting with like-minded Black men and women. I love building. I love my community and yeah, if I missed anything, forgive me, guys. I'm a little nervous, but
No,
yeah.
don't be nervous. It's family talking. We're at the family reunion.
Yes.
Let's just dive into Only Us community
Yes.
group. And
Yes.
if I could ask, what's the mission of the Only Us community group? What are you guys about? What are you ladies about?
So I will let you know first how the organization came into fruition. It
Mhm.
started back in June of 2018. I actually went to one of my good friends. She's my sister, and she's also a part of this organization as well. She's also the vice president, and I went up to her because I had this initiative in my heart to where I wanted to create a safe space for Black men and women for us to be creative in our
Mhm.
right,
Mhm.
for us to discuss our own lived experience, for us to talk about various topics, as well as for us to build with one another. And, to be honest, at first, I didn't even know if I had the intellectual fortitude to do so. I didn't know if I had the range to do so, just to be in full transparency. I didn't
Mhm.
know. And I didn't know what it looked like. And I
Right.
remember I approached her with it, she was just like, "No, that's dope. We actually need more spaces for us, solely dedicated to us. Let's do it." And she came on this project with me. And I remember our first meeting was in my house, where we're at today. And
Right.
I just called up some friends and some family, and we just did a circle with some chairs and wrote up a mission statement. I mean, it was just so spontaneous, but the fact that they came out to support, and it was just us just fellowshipping, just discussing things that we would like to see in our community. It was just a very wholesome experience, and that's how we just started from there. And then we've done a few projects after that, and we're just growing. We're still growing, we're still moving. Like any initiative, you're going to make mistakes along the way, you're going to learn. But I'm just happy just where we're at, because I know that we're gonna head to higher heights. So
Amen.
I would like to read my mission statement, because you did ask,
Please,
but I just
please,
wanted to give you the foundation of it.
please
So
do.
yes. Okay, so this is our mission statement, and you can also find this on our website, onlyuscommunitygroup.com.
Mhm.
And mission statement states, "We are an ever evolving community of Black ambassadors, called to facilitate Black empowerment and progression, committed to love, uplift, educate, and respect one another, and commissioned," my favorite part, "by our ancestors to serve." So that's our
Mm.
mission.
I love that. I love that. And I, as family, we have a deep history of being in the community as a family, and it's what has me working in the community and doing so many things in the community. So to know that I have family out there doing what I do, that just means we're all pulling in the right way. So I love that mission statement. And if I can ask you, because how has the community received um how has the community received Only Us Community Group?
Well, again, as I said, we are growing, but I would say our last project, apart from the community talks that we do every month,
Hmm.
um, yeah, we had a mental health event back in February of 2022,
Hmm.
and it was catered to the mental health. The theme was "Love Thyself," and we had a few mental health professionals come out to speak to the family or so, and it was actually just a beautiful turnout. And from the responses from all the guests that attended, I was just told, just to keep going, to be
Yeah.
encouraged, to keep. But this is what we need. Obviously, like with anything, when you standing in the posture of Blackness, as my good sis will say, and I'm sure she's watching, um, there are challenges that does come with that.
Hmm.
Especially when you are unapologetic, even
Right.
with people who look like you.
Right.
So that I will receive negative and positive feedback from what we're trying to do right now. But I know that this is what God had put on my heart to do. And, even those who came before us who stepped into challenges towards Black empowerment, it
Yes.
wasn't an easy road. It's not an easy road, you know what I'm saying, but unfortunately, you just got to just keep going, and that's just where I'm at. Like I said, I haven't always stood in this posture. This
Right.
took a level of awareness, this took a level of education, it took a level of just my experience in this country as a Black woman, to where why I am doing this, and those who want to jump on board and be on this mission with us, I welcome it as well. So yes, it's been a balance with the receiving of the community, but I would say more positivity, more positive than anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
If there's something I can deposit into you,
Hmm.
and Buy Black for Life is a huge community. We have over 160,000 members. It's
Hmm.
ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, Lakeisha. There were times where I wanted to walk away from doing what I'm doing because,
Yeah.
I put so much positivity out in the community
Hmm.
and I get silence. But let me, for example, put out about what's going on, some gossip, for example. If I post something about what's happening with Diddy, I can tell you it's
Yes.
going to get a
You'll
thousand
get flooded.
responses.
You'll get flooded. Oh yeah,
Right.
has an opinion about that.
Everybody has an opinion.
As you know, as I was mentioning to you, because you know we have a platform that we created called Community Talk, and you was actually on the last one for
Yes,
that,
enjoyed that.
and talk about different various topics, obviously pertaining to us, you know, and we get to the meat and potatoes and everything. So I noticed if I post something about that, okay, maybe 2, 3, 4 likes, okay, and that's cool. But
Right,
again, if I was to dive into the foolishness and the degeneracy, oh yeah, you know that, oh yeah, 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 you know, of course I'll get all the feedback from that. But
right.
I just think also with the level of conditioning, you know, that's not to disparage my community or anything, but it's just real talk.
No, it's
It,
it's
it,
real, and it was my mother, believe it or not, many years ago who said to me, she said, Jerome, the most difficult people that you are going to find in the work that you do are the very people you are trying to help.
absolutely.
And when my mother said that to me, I was like, you got to be kidding me. She was like, no. And the examples that she used, she said, people didn't love Malcolm X.
Yeah, no,
They loved
no,
him when he died, but they didn't love Malcolm X. People didn't love
yeah,
Martin Luther King. So she instilled that in me. And one of the things that I've done is I've pulled back when necessary and I've
yeah.
come hard
You have,
when necessary as well. And, you know, even one text, email message that a
mhm,
business owner sends to me saying, thank you for your platform, that keeps
yes,
me going. So if I could
absolutely.
deposit into
It's the
you,
small,
we got to keep going, even if one reach
it's
it gets reached.
small. You know what I've learned in this journey, and I speak to my good sis about this, who's definitely attached to me, attached to this initiative. You
Hmm.
know, I try to go into this with the level of non expectations for my people, because you're gonna experience heartbreak. It's just by
Yes.
default. It
Yeah.
is. You're gonna heartbreak. You just have to just know what it is that you're standing on. You have to know what you're doing, how you're making your contribution. It may not hit everyone, but as
Right.
you said, hit one person. So that does matter when you get the DM, hey, you know, Keisha, this is dope what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. You know, this right here what you're doing, because it's fueling me, you know, because I'm not gonna lie, it was times I'm like, yeah, I'm hanging this up. Like, y'all niggas,
Yes.
y'all are
Yes.
crazy. Y'all are
Yes.
crazy too
Yes. I
much.
100% get that.
Right. Yeah. So, you know, I'll say someone has to do it. You know, I know a lot of us are making our contribution in our own way. But you know, I would say it starts with you. You know, wherever that looks like for you, it starts with you. So yeah.
And is there a specific demographic of age, gender? Who are you trying to reach with the work that you and Only Us community group are doing? Who are
Yeah.
you? Who's your
Demographic
demographic?
is,
Yeah,
is Black men and women, children or so. We welcome, you know, as far as like sexual orientation, I welcome it. However, but you have to have a Black center mind focus first than anything. That's
I
just,
love
you
that.
know,
Right,
full transparency. You know, listen, we all have different lives experience outside of Blackness, but when you are presented to the world first, you are Black. So if you come with that mindset and wanted to come in to make changes or so, wanted to be creative in your own right and work with other people, or even if you don't share the same beliefs, but that's the main focus for me.
right. Okay. I want to shift because again, let's call it what it is. It is Women's Her Story Month,
Person.
and
Yeah.
um, I mean, I grew up with your aunties who are my
Yes.
cousins, your
Yes.
mother,
Yes.
um, your grandmother
Yeah.
who, mm, oh,
Um,
words.
Jones,
I
Beverly Jones,
oh the
God bless her.
love, the
God bless.
love, the
God,
love.
yes.
Who are
Yeah.
your sheroes? Who are the women that inspire you? Who are the women that lifted you up?
Well, those women that you actually just mentioned, we're gonna go down the list. My grandmother, Beverly Jones,
Mm,
just an anchor in her own right. This one, my grandmother was just a woman of, she was tough.
She was no joke.
Yeah, she was no joke. She is an amazing cook. She had a whole host of children or so, but she taught us the value of family or
Mhm.
so.
Yeah.
You know, of being the glue to having sticking with her family together. And even though I'll say this, my grandmother, along with my aunts or so, because they were all my sheroes. My aunt Cheryl, God bless her soul. My aunt
Mm.
Elaine, my aunt Joanne.
I
They're in a
miss
better
Jody.
place.
Miss Jody.
Yeah,
Mm.
I seen with them, they were all in survival mode.
Yeah.
And that can be a little traumatic scene but I will say in my life now as an adult, I take that and I apply to my life. So yes, I am in survival mode, but also working on being in living mode. If
Mm.
that
Well,
so
tell me how that looks. How does that when you say survival mode and living mode? How does that?
Yeah. So
How do you?
survival, I would
Mhm.
say survival mode where I'm able to navigate this world, especially the environment that I live in. You got to have a certain tough exterior about you. Also, foundation of family. I have two black sons as well.
Right.
Teaching them the fundamentals or so, letting them know you gotta the iron fist as well. Love, of course, because they poured so much into us as well.
Yeah.
But again, back to that survival mode. So I do have that, which I think that is important to help you navigate through life, for you not to just fall for anything, but also working on to the living mode. So I would say, I'm a millennial, but I would say just again my awareness increasing and such that I want to be a generational curse breaker.
Mm.
Because even yes, growing up with my grandmother and my aunts or so, there was still generational traumas that was like
Right.
passed on to or
Right.
so,
Right.
that I'm trying to break that. So it's like I'm kind of just rolling it all together, but making more of a living mode. So just
Yeah.
taking pieces from every one of them. And also to my mother, Esther
My
Jennings, I'm
honor.
sure she's watching.
That's
Shout out,
the
Ma.
love you. That's the love you, cuz. Love you.
My mom, just I call her my sunshine because she really is just my sunshine. I ain't gonna get emotional, but my mom has just been so instrumental in my life up to my adult years. Just learning from her to be bold, to stand in your posture as a woman, to be graceful, to be
Right.
respectful. To go after my dreams or so, not let anything hold you back, to stand up for yourself, to be an advocate for yourself, for her, showing us love, showing us you can be who you want to be or so. And I'm applying that with my children, and also her level of grace. And what's more importantly, I noticed with my mom over the years, she always strived for peace in her heart.
Your mom's was just
Yeah,
level
yeah,
always
very, very,
from a young woman right
right.
here just leveled it. No matter what was happening in the
No matter
family,
what,
the steady
yeah, it can be
one
chaos
was Esther.
around it can be chaos around her, and she just always maintained this level of grace. And I just continue to strive to be like that, because I can be a little crazy sometimes.
and
Be
and
a
I
little
and I,
so
and, and I know you got the Jennings dimples.
yes, you too, cousin. I see what you
Yes,
got. Yeah,
yes, yes, yes. Listen, it's deep in our family. It runs deep.
yes.
I absolutely love it, and that's how you can identify our family. You see them dimples, oh, that's the Jennings family right
Say
there.
also too, the
Yes,
nose. Say you got the nose.
the
That
nose.
I call it the nosh.
So
So yeah,
how has their your sheroes, and if you have more, please do
mhm.
not be unapologetic about sharing them. But how has
Yeah.
their advice guided you?
uh through the hard times or so, definitely, in this journey of womanhood, it can be challenges or so, but they guidance have definitely helped me in situations where I wasn't sure of, you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying, things that I personally was just going through just as a woman. or so. Just able just to pick up the phone and call up my mom, and she can just at times just talk me off the ledge or so, or just pour into me how I need her to pour into me, and just applying that advice to my everyday living. So
Mm.
definitely, for sure, for sure.
Okay.
Also more pillars. My ancestors, of course, the Harriet Tubmans, the Maya Angelou's, or so. Again, these women were pillars and trailblazers in a right or so. Taking on different tasks and challenges that, again, that it was frowned upon from them, and they just kept going. They just kept going. They kept thriving. They kept moving, and unfortunately, as Black women, I know that there's this photograph, and you probably know, cousin. It's a famous photograph where there's a woman sitting in the bed. She's dressed in all white, and her head is down. It's a Black woman. It's a photograph, and it's a popular photograph. It circulates around through social media every now and then. And
Hmm.
she's sitting down. She's at the edge of her bed, and her head is down. She has a white gown on, and I remember the caption said, "Only Black woman, if you know, then you know." So what that means
Mm.
is everything that she's going through, everything she carries on her shoulders, still has to keep pushing forward. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And sometimes I feel that even with me, with everything that I carry on my shoulders, I still have to keep pushing forward. But as you said in the beginning, sometimes you got to know when to tap out, and I'm actually learning just how to do that, because with this work, one that I'm doing, and me being a mom or so, it can be a lot on your
Right.
shoulders.
Right.
It can
It can.
be and mentally, physically draining. So you just have to know like when to tap out or so. And then, I have a huge support system. My partner, George, the father of my
What's up,
beautiful,
George? I see you, brother.
he's just amazing in itself, an amazing Black man, and I'm grateful for him for that too.
I
So
love it. I love
yeah.
that, cuz I really do. And
Yeah.
and how do you see future family members being
Hmm.
able to help them? Like you said, there's generational traumas, and
Hmm.
I know them. I've seen them. I've lived them. Right? How
Hmm.
how do you how going through that as you try to break that generational curse? How is
Hmm.
it that you could help the women behind you, the women that are coming behind you, the women that are looking up to you,
Hmm.
our cousins, female
Yeah.
cousins that are looking up to you? How are you able to balance that and be able to move forward in positivity and in love?
But just continue to stand in the posture that I'm in, to continue to be that role model for them, to continue to be that safe space for them, to continue to have those conversations, sometimes those uncomfortable conversations, because you got to have the uncomfortable conversations
Right,
for you to grow and for you to evolve as a person,
right,
whatever Black, whether you're a man or woman or so. And just continue to create that safe space for them. I have young cousins that definitely look up to me, and we speak on various topics that like affect them, and I just pour into them and teach them the best way that I can. So
mm,
I just try to put it this way: I try to be the example of who I am, of someone who, apart from my she roles, but to be someone who I wanted to see and be who I wanted to see, especially in this posture where I'm at right now.
right.
To Yeah, I'm getting a little tongue tied, but what I'm
No,
saying
I
is,
I got you.
Keisha, okay, I want to be who the young Keisha will be looking at right now, if that makes
Mm.
sense. So
Yes,
yeah.
it does. It does. And don't mess up my last question because you know. So only us community group. I loved the conversation that I was a part of when you invited me to that conversation.
Hmm.
Um and I don't care if it's 3 or 4. And I love the fact George was on there, your partner in
Hmm.
building the group was on there. I just love that. And um I love the fact that, it was a safe space, like there was no judgment. How do you create that? I just love that every
Yeah.
opinion is respected, and I could
Right.
have a different opinion from you from me from George.
Hmm.
I mean, it was just an amazing conversation. How did you create that?
Well, yeah, because we set the tone in the beginning. You have to set the tone first. we have a disclaimer on our community talks or so, and it starts with us as well,
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
we welcome all opinions or so, again, as I say, we may not always agree to disagree, but I always like to focus on solution based. This is not the platform for us, because we see it so much, throughout social media, and not to, again, disparaging podcasts, but it's just a lot of back and forth. That It's not really constructive. It's nothing, you know, towards solutions or so,
What pit it
and
against each other, and we have to get out of that.
we're already taught that to go against one another. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? The back and forth and such. And that's something that we decided firsthand that that's something that's not going to happen. So it's about setting the tone. You got to set the tone. You
Yeah,
have to.
and I see one person, Sheila, and Sheila's family as
Hmm.
well. Sheila wrote, "We are focused on the wrong things,"
We
and
are.
she was basically talking about the fact that because Sheila as well is an entrepreneur, and
Hmm.
she knows the struggle just like we know the struggle. Where you know we put positivity out there and it's crickets.
Yeah.
But let me
Yeah.
post about what's happening with Diddy.
Yeah.
Everybody has an opinion.
Mhm.
And me, I'm not that person. I want
Yeah.
to try to shift our mind, and what we don't really understand is by doing some of those things, we are diverting our attention away from the things that we should be focused on. And that's that's vital to me. So Sheila, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Um,
It
Go ahead,
is
cuz.
for that because we're like on a life support pretty much, like kind of, do
Yeah,
so
yes, yes. If we
so we really got to shift the atmosphere. We got to shift the focus and speak about the things that matter to empower us. So absolutely. So yeah, yep,
and you talk about solutions, that's and that seems to be what the conversations can inspire. They can inspire because I mean, yeah, I may be older, but that doesn't mean I can't listen to what it is that you have to share. I could learn from you just as much as me being the older cousin, you could learn from me. But you know, we have to get out of our own way and get out of our egos and be able to
yes,
listen and
yeah,
be able to inspire. And there's a lot going on in this world, and what you are bringing to the community. Um, I want to say it is a mental health
yes,
thing.
it is. Yes,
Just
it
to,
is.
just to be able to have those conversations, like talk about you know the intent of the mental health part to what you do.
Yes, again, just diving into these conversations and really unpacking everything. Sometimes, even when we complete the community talks, I have to like really decompress. Or sometimes I go into my room and I'm crying like a baby at times.
Mm,
Because
right.
sometimes you hear things out loud and you're hearing everyone else's opinions and comments on certain topics. It hits you sometimes.
Yes,
You
it does.
and it's just like, wow, this is like where we are right now.
Yeah.
Like, wow,
Yes.
and again, and again, is when you're being positive and you're being the pillar, you being the trailblazer, you even putting yourself out there, and it's sometimes just receiving that negativity that can be a well of like overwhelming too. So, again, I just try not to have great expectations. I just say to myself, I know why I'm doing this, and I know that God put this on my heart, and that's all that matters. So I just have to just keep pushing, keep persevering, keep moving forward. And again, like I said, only us is about attracting like-minded men and women, children or so. Again, we don't have to agree on everything, but as long as we
Right.
have that to empower our community towards longevity, that's what matters to me.
I absolutely love that, cuz, and I look forward to however I can help,
Oh,
mentor,
yeah.
inspire, this because I want to be a part of seeing you just like take it to it's in the BX now, take it
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
entire world, to the entire planet
That,
because
that's
um
the goal. That's
we
the goal to
listen, we have to set
all over.
those goals down in for reality. So I'm with you, cuz honestly, and you already know.
Yeah, I know. Thank you again. I'm just like super grateful for you, Jerome. Thank you.
Same here. Same
This is
here.
look, we're starting right now. So
Yeah,
yeah.
listen, this is where the seeds are actually planted. Um, if anybody knows me, they know how unapologetic I am about
Mhm.
pouring into other people.
Right.
So, you know, and you talked about the challenges. So I have to ask you a question. When, as a woman, right, how do you celebrate yourself as a woman?
Oh my God, I love that question. How do I celebrate myself? Oh wow. Gotta think about that one. One is I'm working on giving myself a lot more grace. Grace. Learning when to just say, just gonna put a stop at things and just kind of just go do my own thing. For so,
Right.
let's just say just away from only as to say, okay, I'm going to have dinner for myself. I'm gonna go for a spa treatment or so, just to keep my mental health going. Let me go walk
Yes.
around, go
Right.
for a run. So, even away from motherhood, and also just pat myself on the back at times, just saying, hey, because, full transparency, I could be very, very hard on myself. And that's something that I'm working on, where I feel it's not enough what I'm doing, or I don't, again, you shouldn't be in these spaces or so. And, I'm just learning how to just take a moment just to breathe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that's a small thing, but that's how I'm working on like celebrating myself, to be very honest with you.
And it
Hmm.
sounds like something I say to people all the time. Celebrate your wins, right?
Yeah. Well,
Um,
yeah.
I, I'm I'm a former athlete. I know George also former athlete. We are
Hmm.
so ultra focused on the next thing that we
Yes.
forget to um celebrate this win, this W that
Right.
we had, this thing that we
Hmm.
accomplished. Oh wow, we did this. And I have been intentional about when I have a win, I'm going to
Hmm.
celebrate it. May it be my wife and I travel, we go out to
Hmm.
dinner, whatever it may be. Celebrate
Yeah.
your wins because
Right.
it'll also inspire you. Okay,
Mhm.
the next one, here we come. And
Yeah.
me personally, I already got what I'm gonna do to celebrate that next win. But it's so
Right.
important, and for me, it has been able to balance my mental health
Yes.
because instead of me just being grind, 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 um,
Hmm.
I'm able to enjoy the process, enjoy the
Yeah.
grind,
Yeah.
enjoy just going through. And I take
Hmm.
my L's too, and I take my L's like a champ. But we all learn even from our L's. That's what's so important. So, cuz it sounds like you're celebrating your wins, and I wholeheartedly.
I am. I'm learning to, give myself a lot more credit, and, just taking it one day at a time or so. I'm definitely, definitely learning that. So yeah, and I'm gonna start celebrating it more too. So yeah.
Yes, yes. So, if I may, let's also
Mhm.
talk about, because you know this is not the only thing my cousin does. You have your travel agency or your travel company, and
Yes.
I would be remiss if we didn't talk about that. Talk about um GNL travel. What talk about that. What is that? Share with us, because you're a mom
Yes, I am a mom.
and
Mhm.
you just had your second baby, God bless him,
Thank
and
you.
you are an entrepreneur where you're handling your business on the community part,
Yes.
but you're also doing this travel. Talk about
Yes.
your travel business.
Yes. But prior to family or so, I was an avid traveler. I've seen a lot of places and experienced a lot of different cultures or so. So I remember when I became a stay-at-home mom about 3 years ago, George presented me with this opportunity to be a home-based travel. an independent travel advisor or so. And I remember at first, because it was at the time I was kind of going through like postpartum and everything. I didn't want it to do anything. And he encouraged me, I think, babe, this would be great for you to work from home, to earn some extra income for yourself. So he actually bought this business for
Okay.
me.
Hmm.
But we actually worked together. So GNL Travel Love, that's George and LaKeisha Travel. So that's what that stands for. And yeah, we work this business from home. We also teach other people how to start their own independent travel business. We book trips and creating lasting memories for ourselves, as I mentioned earlier, and for our clients. We book all parts of the world. It's not just that domestic, foreign, uh, concert tickets,
I
anything.
love it. Yeah.
Uh, Not only with that, just being from home, we also have a community that we are a part of.
Hmm.
Where we have our meetings of other entrepreneurs who are in the same industry as we are, to pour into each other. Let's see, it's just so much. It's a whole host of things. Trainings and such, for us to build our business and
Hmm.
everything. So that's yeah, that's the other part that I do to earn extra income for our family, and as well as to with this business also, just to help leave a legacy for my family, also
Mm.
with a nonprofit as well. But this is this taking a few bills off the table, I can't lie. So
I love it, cuz I do love it. And
so,
this is a question that might blindside you, but I know you've traveled. Where's your
okay.
favorite place you've been?
Uh, my favorite place is Costa Rica. Guanacaste, Costa Rica. It's one of my favorite places. I enjoyed it. I felt at home. I loved it, and I just look forward to going back. As of course, I do have a bucket list of other places. I do want to travel, of course, to the motherland. That's something that George and I have been talking about, and that's something that we are definitely going to make come into fruition. But
Okay.
Costa Rica is one of my favorite places for sure.
Well, I'm gonna bring back when I do go again to the motherland. I'm gonna bring back
Mhm.
information about our family that
Yeah,
started on the continent, so that we could start sharing that with
yeah,
our children and
absolutely.
grandchildren and so on. So it's because it's vitally important. I just feel like
Yeah.
we stand differently when we know where we come from, because we come from kings and queens, and if we're going to break some of the generational curses, we have to know where we come from and start
Ooh,
standing up in a different
yep.
way. So
Yeah, because
I
we are,
got that.
yeah, it shifts and it changes a lot.
It
So
really
absolutely
does. I walk with
does.
a different level of pride touching down there. Yes. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look forward to you bringing back that information or so,
Yes.
and we're definitely gonna make it out there. Our goal is to
I
bring
know.
our children for sure, and it's gonna happen.
I
It's
know.
gonna happen.
I
Right?
I
I'm
know. I
intentional.
already know. I already know. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
Let's say 10-year-old LaKeisha is standing right in front of you,
Uh huh.
and you know you want to be able to deposit into her um, some words of encouragement about
Mhm.
her journey to womanhood.
Mhm.
What would you say to 10-year-old LaKeisha if she was standing in front of you right now?
I would say to 10-year-old Lakeisha, going into the journey of womanhood, that first is it's a beautiful journey, especially as a Black woman. It is a beautiful journey, but it has its challenge or so. I'm going to encourage you as you're going into your womanhood. You're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. You're going to have moments of awakening. You're going to have moments of where your awareness is going to intensify. There are moments where you're going to be unsure about things, but I encourage you to keep doing what you're doing, whatever is placed on your heart as you get older, whatever it is that you want to do in life. You keep going for it. You keep moving forward. You don't let anything stop you or so. Um, and stay rooted in who you are.
Mm,
Definitely stay rooted in who you are. Stay rooted in who you are, and you're beautiful, and no one
yeah,
can ever take. No one can take your intelligence away from you. No one can take your essence away from you. No one can take your grace away from you. You just keep going, and I love you, and you are beautiful. My
I
black.
love every bit of that. Every bit of that, cuz. And we're
Mhm.
coming close to the end. So there's a question that I didn't include, but I'm gonna ask it. What does buying black mean to you?
Buying black to me is circulating our dollars within our community, empowering each other, putting us first, collaborating again with like-minded black men and women, and building and creating a village, because it does take a village for us to build. As I said, that's why I named this organization Only Us, because it's only us to empower ourselves. Again, no one is coming to save us. It starts with
Mm,
us. So that's what buy black for life means to me. It's putting us first, putting our needs first, our wants, and being unapologetic about it
love
in
that.
all aspects.
Love
So
it.
yes.
Love it. So cuz you have something coming up, um
Hmm.
the Only Us community group chat coming up in April 7th.
April
Um
7th.
and I'm
Hmm.
gonna put it in the comments right now.
Yes.
That has it has the Zoom link, it has
Hmm.
the password, the passcode for anyone who is interested. I'll put it up on one of the banners. Um, Talk about that conversation that you are having coming up in April.
Yes. So, as I mentioned earlier, we facilitate what's called a community talk. We've been going pretty strong with it now. We do this once a month. Again, we speak on various topics. So the next community talk, it's April 7th, and we're talking about the complex relationships between Black women or
Mm,
so. And yeah, so it's something that I really look forward into diving into. I feel this is an important conversation. I feel I want to talk about this conversation because although I see that there is a connection with Black women as a whole, but also there are things that we need to kind of unpack with each other and be very transparent for us to even move forward. And we dive in with the colorism aspect of that. We dive in. I mean, anything you can think of. Also, for us to see. I know I'm a little all over the place. I'm sorry,
take your time,
but
cuz.
I think this conversation is important to me because I feel like also a lot of Black women don't see ourselves in one another or
Mm,
so. So there's just kind of level of treatment, whether with classism or, even in the workplace, the whole job and fighting thing. And, it's a whole host of things. So even also with family dynamic, with your sisters, with your friends or so. So, we decided we want to touch on this topic and to unpack that and to walk away from something, where you can take that and apply it to your relationships with your mothers and your sisters or so. So that's what this conversation is definitely going to be about. And we welcome everyone to come in and chime in. Even we welcome men as well too.
mm.
So that's what the conversation is going to be about: complex relationships between Black women and how we can evolve from that and how can we strengthen it. So
I
yeah,
love
and I'm
it.
gonna say first by seeing ourselves in one another, no matter what level, no matter where you are in life, no matter what your education level, what is your economic level, it has to start with all. I'm gonna say this, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So,
No, but we're all
you know,
women, for example,
yeah,
are all in that
mhm,
same struggle. Um,
absolutely,
and like you said, seeing each other is
yeah,
so vitally important. One of the things I always love about my wife is that when she sees another woman and she will compliment that woman, right?
absolutely. We'll
Where
say hi.
right, right. Where, I've also
Hmm.
seen the opposite of other women where they see a woman who might have on a nice outfit, their hair might look good. They're
Hmm.
giving her the once up and down. And I
Hmm.
I I don't understand that. We have to stop pitting ourselves against each other. We have to be the
Hmm.
change that was heaped
We,
upon us during slavery of pitting each other against one another and pulling each
yeah,
other down. We have to be, and I know what it is that you are doing is going to be part of that change. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I say you have to be the change you want to see rather than complaining about, a lot of us, we want to complain about all the issues that going on, but I'll say, okay, so what are you doing to make your contribution? In what way
Amen.
are you,
Right.
so it's you. I mean, I know it's cliche to say, but it's the truth.
It
Like,
is.
to help affect change. And that's why we have community talk. Community talk is having these conversations to affect change and to also for us to take an inventory on
Mm.
ourselves.
Mm.
Because conversation when it comes to talking about Black issues or so, I think, you're gonna sit back, you're gonna look at yourself in the mirror and go, And also I think that's why a lot of us shy away from these conversations because a lot of
The
us is
look,
not
the
ready.
look in the mirror, the look in the
We're not
mirror.
we're not ready. And it
Right.
takes time. I wasn't always ready at one point, as I
Hmm.
mentioned earlier, I didn't always stand in this posture, but I'm here now and I just want to just be effective to others, to those who look like me, and to continue to be that positive vessel.
I love it. Cuz
Mhm.
I thank you for taking the
It was
time out
awesome.
of your busy, and I know you're busy.
Mhm.
New mom. I'm so happy for you and George. I love
Thank you.
you.
Love you
Know that
too.
my platform is your platform. If you ever should
Yeah.
need me for whatever it may be, you need me,
Yes.
I'm there. I love you.
Love you.
And my Buy Black for Life family, please. I put it even in the chat on the comments, um, where the next Only Us community group chat. It'll be April 7th. It's in
Yes.
the Zoom chat meeting. Number is there as well as the passcode. Dial in. I I I will make sure my schedule is clear. I believe it should
Yeah.
be. I don't know. It's
Mhm.
Sunday, so I that's my day to just chill. So I should be
Yeah.
able to come on in and I don't know if there's much that I can give. I'm just there to listen, receive, and keep my mouth shut and be okay. So I love you. I love you for taking the
Oh,
time out.
we welcome
Thank
your
you.
thoughts too, cousin, but I appreciate it. But again, thank you to you. Thank you for creating this platform. Again, highlighting wonderful Black women in their own right, whether entrepreneurship and anything that they're doing, pillars, the anchors in their own communities or so. This is really awesome, and you keep doing what you're doing too, because
Thank you,
this is
cuz.
definitely this is motivating and this is really inspiring me. So thank you so much. Because sometimes, I feel like we need that sometimes. We need a few up. Few,
Yes.
excuse me,
Yes.
few up.
This
So
is this
thank
is you this is the first of many for you, and I'm claiming that for
you. Yeah.
you. And you could say,
Hmm.
well, I started with Buy Black for Life with my big cousin. So this is the
Yeah, see,
first
look.
of many. Thank you.
Okay.
Love you, cuz, and to our Buy Black for Life community. Whether you're
Yeah.
watching this live or you're watching it on replay, as
Mhm.
usual, I will say to each and every one of you, for the love of our people, let's continue to buy Black for Life. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, one and all. Good night.
Yeah. God bless and blessings to all of you. Thank you, family, for joining us tonight. Thank you.
Good night.
All right. Good night, guys.